In this webisode, Utropia journalist Bidhya Chapagain interviews Ute Vögel from UIT's international office and the head of SiTø, Petter Kvaal, about the challenges facing international students with regards to the housing crisis. This broadcast corresponds to the article titled Challenges for International Students by the same journalist and published in issue 11 of Utropia 2013.
What are the main challenges that you have found this year for the international student?
The biggest challenges are that we get more and more international students, to get housing for international students, and we have a limited possibility there as an international office. So we cannot longer guarantee housing, but we have to have focus on students who need visa. All students who need a visa are requested to document housing before they come. Otherwise they will not come.
If you can't give the guarantee for them to live here, then why to give admission to those large number of students?
We have at least 300 rooms, and there is a market out there. It's very often that also students really would like to rent a place and live private. So we cannot match the number of international students to the number of rooms we have, because if there's a chance to get also other Nordic students or other European students, they also seek housing. It would not be wise to match the number of international students to housing. We could offer at least housing to those international students, because they're very welcome, and that's a priority for the university to give them housing as much as possible.
But still, we meet so many international students living in boats, living in fire stations, or living.
I think the Norwegian students are even more hit. The internationals, they have gotten priority. That's a political decision, and that's taken, and that was very, very good. So we got even more units this time, so that we could offer, because we have experience that people needed to go home. Norwegians as well as internationals last year.
Is it like a kind of a strategy of university to have more international students here, just to get the fame or like to be in the top ranked position, or?
We provide. I think it's wrong to say we cannot provide. That's not true, because we really have something to offer, but we have limits.
But still, you agree that they are international and national are left behind without housing.
Yeah, still, but it's not. The university has not the only responsibility. I see that, for example, in Germany as well. There you cannot expect to get a student housing. You have to find your own. But it's very important that we take care of it. And we have so many applicants, and the admission process has been very demanding for us, because we have so many international students applying to us. But we need more and more focus also to really work out a recruitment strategy. Who do we want to have, or who can we would like to have?
Is your international student recruitment strategy is much more influenced by the higher rankings of?
Actually, not. Recruitment is, we are a university which teaches out of research and teaching. We want to recruit students who are also relevant for the research environments here. That's one thing. The other thing is that we are into cooperation agreements with partner universities over the whole world. And then we have some priority regions or countries like the US, which is also in high focus. We have high number of applicants from, I think Pakistan is very strong, Nepal, high numbers of applicants where we really have to decide how many can we actually take in, or do we need to set a restriction there. But that's something what the Norwegian and other universities in Norway also have as a challenge, because now Norway does not have tuition fees for international students. But Denmark, Sweden, also partly Finland, has introduced tuition fees. That means that we got even more applicants to Norwegian universities.
The last couple of years it's been almost the same. So it's not more difficult this year than last year. Last year it was probably tougher for us because we made a new student house in the Breivik, and we had the fire station for the first time, so we hadn't made all the rules and regulations. It's easier now because we done it before.
So why is this crisis that happened here?
The city is growing faster than they can make houses. That's the main problem. We, as an organization, can't deal with all the problems from the city. And larger companies are coming into the town. We can't build houses as fast as the city is growing. So that's the main problem. So when big companies are coming into Tromsø to put up their headquarters, they apply for 200-300 employees. They're coming into town, and they are competing with the students on the housing.
So how many students are left behind without housing?
It's hard to say now. I think it's we have 60 or so on temporary housing, and it's about the same amount at Sofahjelpen. Sofahjelpen is students helping students, renting out their or lending a place to sleep at their own house.
Okay. So when do you think this problem will be resolved?
The main problem wouldn't be solved before we have built our student house, more student house.
When will you be able to do that?
We will start this winter. So next winter, the first 200-300 will be finished. We have raised the amount that houses for the international students from 250 to 300 this year, because the university wanted us to do it. So the Norwegian students don't get houses because the foreign students will take almost all our free houses. That's a problem, of course. But we don't invite the international students, it's the university. So we just try to provide housing.
But they are new here, they don't know the rules and regulations and everything, and it will like already...
That's why we provide more housing for the international students than the Norwegian, because it's easier for the Norwegian students to get a private house. But the university is growing. A lot of international students want to come here to students. So maybe the universities would say no to more international students. That's what they can do before we have built more student housing. We must have money from the state, the government, to build more houses.
You are already in pressure with all these kind of housing problems.
Yeah.
So have you discussed about these issues with university administration?
They want us to give more housing for the international students. And I say no, because we have to have help the young Norwegians also. So it's not so easy, because if we give all the houses to the foreign students, we have nothing for the Norwegians.
So
and that's not fair either.
How to balance that?
Yes. Now we have balanced it in the benefit of the international students.
We have some cases of people living in boats, in fire stations, in big halls, and how long it will go like this?
It's hard to say, because the fire station will close down in the end of September. So it's not permanent anyhow. So they have to find another place to live before the end of September. And if they can't, we don't have anything.
Where would they go?
Where do people go when they don't have a house? Maybe home. I don't know. We don't have anything. But we are an old marine base, Olavsvern. There is some houses, rooms free now. So we are giving it to the students, at least giving it. It's 4,500 for a room. And it's a private company. So we help the students to get contracts with a private company that's rented out. But it's about 20 minutes drive out to the center town. It's some buses, but not so often. So there will be a chance.
So what would you suggest to the students who are left behind without housing?
They just have to try. Knock on doors, try to see can you get together with other students to rent a larger apartment or a house together. That's the best solution.